Hello everyone, I'm Infinite. We're going to do the patch rundown for patch 26.3. So what are the big things that happened this patch? Mel is reworked, where her Q is going to be less range, it's going to be slower, it's going to deal a bit more damage, so she's going to be a bit different. She loses the invulnerability in her W, so she's quite changed. It's worth looking into. Other big things that matter for us as Yunara players: cashback and triple tonic are both nerfed. It just has systems, but they're actually just both nerfed, but they're still good enough for you to play them in solo queue. On top of that, there's a little bit of a meta change in jungle, as they're adding more AD bruisers back into the mix as a bit of a meta stuff. A couple of notable nerfs they're going to do for us bot laners are going to be Nyla, and Varus, and Braum being significant because he's our favorite support to play with, as well as them buffing Draven and Ezreal, which can be lane bullies that can kind of matter a little bit. But anyway, these are the big changes that have happened this patch. Not as much more significant stuff as the last one, where you had like X-Optics buff, Fiend Hunter buff. Yunara seems to be in an okay spot. They have nerfed a little bit on the system changes. What do you think? Do you think Yunara is going to get buffed? Do you think she's going to get nerfed in the next patches? I'd say, since she's still played in pro, I'd say she's not going to be buffed at all. If anything, we may see a nerf sooner or later. In terms of the best current Yunara build, in my opinion, I think you can go Kraken Slayer most of the time. You also have the option to go for Yuntal, Blade of the Rune King, or Stormrazor. I've been experimenting a little bit more with Stormrazor this patch, and I think it's nice. I think the extra movement speed it gives you can allow you to do some pretty nice kiting things that you otherwise can't do. So if you think you can't DPS a lot because you're into like 2 assassins and some other long range mage, it can be a nice option if you do get like a lane where you can base on a BF sword. But still, Kraken Slayer is just the best item. If you can, just go Kraken Slayer. It's always consistent. You know what you're doing. You know you're spiking on one item very strongly. So honestly, there's really no necessity to try something different, but Kraken Slayer is always a good choice. As far as boots, plated steel caps are really good if you're fighting into a lot of AD champs. I really wouldn't see, like, I think these ones are really underbought, and I think you can buy them more in your games if you feel like, oh, I'm playing into X assassin and this ADC with a bunch of burst damage. You can really consider them. They're really good. I think it's worth considering. You lose a little bit on the attack speed, which sucks when you're like wave clearing and DPSing, but the extra resistances it gives you, very worth. As far as the Zeal item goes, I think Fiend Hunter is currently the best one. I think Phantom Dancer is an item I've been underbuying. I think it's quite good. The stats are still very awesome. And don't forget, there's games where you're playing into like 4 melees where Rune's is just so good. Don't forget to also buy that item when you think that it's in a good spot. But Fiend Hunter always feels very consistent, feels very good on Yunara. You can pretty much buy every game alongside Kraken Slayer, and you're gonna have no problems in your games. Third item, Infinity Edge. I mean, this is just what rounds up a good crit build. You're always going to need Infinity Edge in your build, so just get it when you can. There's some exceptions for a third item where you may consider Bloodthirst or a Shield Bow if you want a little something more defensive to protect a big shutdown, but I think just go Infinity Edge most of the times, you'll be fine. As far as the situational items, this is when you can change a little bit based on the enemy comp. Like if they have a lot of HP stackers, you can still go Lord Dominic's. I think Lord Dominic's actually makes you very worthwhile always going Kraken Slayer, not going Bork, because of the passive on Giant Slayer being back on LDR. I think this makes it super worthwhile. You also have the anti-heal option, you have the shield option while also giving a crit, you have life steal, you have 1 revive, you have a second pseudo revive, right? You have like a nice stasis, so you have like very good survivability options. If you go like Stormrazor as your first item and you just buy like 4 crit items, you can always like round off a build with the GA and the Zonies as well to make you super unkillable into assassins. I've tried that out recently, it feels kind of nice. You also have the option to go for a cleanse, the AP burst, and the anti-AP burst option, as well as X-Optics, which I would like to have been buying it more for a little bit more damage, but I've been ending up buying Shield Bow more often in its spot, but I think this item is really decent too. And when you're full build, which very difficult to do these days, but if you are, Elixir of Wrath, always nice to round off a build as well. And something to also consider is that when you're full build, you can also replace your Kraken Slayer for a Blade of the Rune King, because this item just scales a lot better than Kraken, right? Kraken does a little bit of flat damage on Bring It Down. It scales with level, but it's always flat damage, whereas this Bork will deal damage based on the enemy's current health. When the enemies are all like level 18 or something, replacing Kraken for Bork is a really solid option. that's really all about it. There's also a couple more changes that I didn't mention earlier because it gets a little bit dense. As far as champion bounties, it seems like they have buffed the champion bounties a little bit more, so you can be so you can play around kills a little bit more. Like if there's a fed enemy on the enemy team and you kill him, you should get rewarded. So that's like what they're trying to do with the champion bounty change here. And with these turret plates, basically what they're trying to do is like, it's going to be harder for you to split push, but it's easier for you to like go as a 5-man team and do your turret plate sieging and like get the towers and try to end the game. That's kind of what the idea of this is. Keep in mind, for example, that this resistances are increased based on nearby enemies. So for example, if you have 5 of your teammates all next to a tower, then the plates will have 100 more resistances, right? So something that you should keep in mind is if you are playing a champion that doesn't deal that much tower damage, so say like an enchanter or a tank that doesn't deal that much damage, right? And you don't need to stand next to the tower, you can actually just not hit the tower at all. Like not be close, so you don't increase the resistances of the tower, because your auto attacks won't deal more damage than like what the resistances amplify. Interesting to keep in mind. In regards to Phallites and Visions, so they're changing the region shape a little. So expanded past Scuttle Pad and Epic Pit entrance. It now cuts off before the Scuttle Pad and Epic Pit entrance, so it has a little bit less vision on that tribush. That was it's like the vision part in between the tribush, right? In that pocket between the tri-bushes in the bot lane, so that's kind of significant, as well as the stealth ward trinket. So for example, when you go for your level 1 trinket, you were expected to have like your cooldown, your trinket a bit earlier. Now it's going to be increased by 40 seconds. It's going to take a little bit longer until you get that trinket back. So there's also that part that comes into effect, right? Because if you need to like ward for an early gank and you used your ward on lane, it can be a bit more tricky. And the last significant nerf, or change that I should mention for Yunara, is this cashback change, where the gold refund is nerfed from 8% to 7.5%. This is really the biggest deal for Yunara, because we do like cashback quite a lot, and getting a little bit of a nerf, it's not that big of a deal. I feel like cashback is still very playable, but this is just not like the best rune, secondary rune to run for every ADC now. But I don't think Yunara has much better options. And the win rate right now also suggests that cashback is still the way to go. Oh, it's also like paired with another triple tonic nerf, which is like often they're paired together, right? Between triple tonic and cashback, and the elixir of force, so the adaptive force, the one that gives you when you get level 6 and you have that extra AD, right? It's reduced from 30 to 25. So that means when you save this one for a bigger fight, you're gonna have a little bit less damage. So that part can be a little bit annoying as well to deal with, but I don't think this warrants any change on the secondary changes. Maybe this triple tonic change makes it more likely that you want to run cookie sometimes, but I think triple tonic is still quite good. If you want to run for it, you should. And yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll keep trying to do these every new patch and see how it goes. If it's like a video you guys like to watch, I'm down to make it. It's kind of nice. It also means I'll pay more attention to what is going on and changing in the patch. So take care and have a good one. Bye.